Hello students, now we are going to discuss about the following in first lesson electrostatics. First one is important aspects of Coulomb's law. Look at the picture. 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 are considered and they are separated at a distance r. Since the charges are said to be positively charged, so it will experience the repulsive force. See the force direction. F21 vector is acting outward, so that we can apply the Coulomb's law here. According to Coulomb's law, the force on point charge Q2 exerted by the charge Q1 can be written as F21 vector is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R squared into R12 cap. Here K is proportionality constant and R12 cap is unit vector which is directed from charge Q1 to charge Q2. Here first point tells about Coulomb's law. We have discussed about this law in the last class itself. According to Coulomb's law, the force between the 2-point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of 2-point charges and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Next point, the force is always acting along the line joining the two charges. As we know, the force between the 2-point charges is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. In this equation, K is said to be the proportionality constant. That proportionality constant can be calculated by the equation K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In this equation, 4 is said to be constant and pi is equal to 3.14 and epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square Newton power minus 1 meter power minus 2. After substituting all these values and after cancelling it, you can get the value as 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter squared Coulomb power minus 2. So this is the value of proportionality constant. And next similarly we can calculate the permittivity of free space. If the charges are placed in air or vacuum or free space, in that case the permittivity can be calculated by the equation epsilon naught is equal to 1 by 4 pi k, which is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into Coulomb square Newton power minus 1 meter power minus 2. So this equation is derived from the above equation. So next point tells about the definition for 1 coulomb. 1 coulomb is said to be the charge which when placed at a distance of 1 meter apart from the similar charge will experience a repulsive force of 9 into 10 power 9 Newton. So this point gives the definition for 1 coulomb. Next point tells about that if the 2-point charges are placed in air medium or vacuum, in that case the force on charge Q2 by the charge Q1 can be written as F21 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R squared into R12 cap. In this equation, epsilon naught in the denominator indicates that the permittivity of free space. If the charges are placed in any other medium, in that case the force on point charge Q2 by the charge Q1 can be written as F21 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon into Q1 Q2 by R squared into R12 cap. In this equation, epsilon in the denominator indicates that the permittivity of the medium. The permittivity of the medium can be written as epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon naught. We discussed about this in the last class itself. Look at the equation epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. What is epsilon? Permittivity of the medium. What is epsilon naught? Permittivity of free space. What is epsilon naught? Relative permittivity. From this equation, it is understood that the relative permittivity epsilon naught is defined as the ratio of the permittivity of medium epsilon to the permittivity of free space epsilon naught. So epsilon naught is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught. For air medium, the value of epsilon naught is 1. For any other medium, epsilon naught is greater than 1. Next point tells about the similarities between Coulomb's law and Newton's law of gravitation. Look at the following equation. First equation tells about the Coulomb force. According to the Coulomb's law, the force between the 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Similarly, we can state the Newton's law of gravitation as the force between the 2 point masses is directly proportional to the product of masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Look at the equation Newton's force. In this equation, the letter G, it indicates the gravitational constant, whereas in the first equation, K indicates the proportionality constant. Next point tells that depending upon the nature of the charges, the Coulomb force may be attractive or repulsive. Next point is about Lorentz force. If the charges are at rest, the force between them is said to be Coulomb force. If the charges are in motion, there will be some other force named as Lorentz force will come into act in addition to the Coulomb force. Next point relates the electrostatic force with Newton's third law. According to Newton's third law, for every action there will be an equal and opposite reaction. So likewise, the Coulomb force between the 2 point charges is also said to be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So F21 vector is equal to minus F12 vector. So girls, these are the some important points about Coulomb's law. These points we have discussed in the last class itself. This is a very important 5 mark. Next one is electric field. Electric field at a point P is defined as the force experienced by the unit charge Q kept at that point, which can be written by the equation E vector is equal to F vector divided by Q naught. Here Q naught indicates the test charge. So this equation will also become Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R squared into R cap. This term comes from the Coulomb's law. See the numerator, F is given. According to Coulomb's law, F is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1, Q2 divided by R squared. Here, instead of writing Q1 and Q2, we are considering as Q into Q naught. So we are having Q naught in the numerator as well as denominator. So it will become cancel. So the remaining will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by R squared into R cap. Next, see this picture. From this picture, we can understand that electric field is defined as the force experienced by the unit charge placed at that point. Look at the picture. There is a positive charge and a negative charge. And see the force direction around the positive charge. Around the positive charge, the direction of force is said to be outward. See the negative charge. The direction of force around the negative charge is said to be inward. Unit for electric field is Newton Coulomb power minus 1. Next one is important aspects of electric field. First point, let us consider the source charge is said to be positive. In that case, the electric field around the source charge is said to be outward. If the source charge is said to be negative, in that case, electric field around the charge is said to be inward. So next that if another test charge Q naught is brought near to the source charge Q, in that case the force experienced by the test charge Q naught can be written as F vector is equal to Q naught into E vector. Next point, The electric field is independent of test charge, which means that it always depends only on the source charge Q. Electric field is said to be a vector quantity because it has a magnitude and direction at every point. Since the electric field is inversely proportional to the distance, it means that if the distance increases, the field decreases. If the distance decreases, the field is said to be increase. Usually, the test charge is said to be sufficiently small, which means that it will not modify the electric field of the source charge. If the system consists of continuous and finite size charge distribution, in that case, integration techniques will be used. There are two kinds of electric field. One is uniform or constant field and another one is non-uniform field. Thank you students. Leave your doubts in the comment box.